Is human design fake? This is one of the number one questions people are asking the internet about human design, quickly followed by my Reddit search that people are asking if human design is a cult. Okay, so this is going to be my breakdown, and if you don't know me, my name is Micah Gabriela. I'm a human design reader, so this is already biased. I am a deconditioning expert and the founder of the Transformational Human Design Certification, and I am super excited to dive into this very controversial topic and give my personal point of view and perspective on this. Let's dig deep. In this video, I'm going to break down the history of human design. I'm going to share with you where it comes from and how it got to us, so you have a bit of a backstory to make up your own mind. I'm going to look at the definition of what a cult means, and I'm going to share with you my own perspective and what I've learned around things being real and fake that might give you a completely different perspective and hopefully reframes this question into a deeper, more self-aware approach. Let's look into it. So I feel like this is a story that is absolutely unnecessary if you feel called to the human design information, but I'm going to share it because I think it's quite funny and interesting, and I feel like we can rip off the Band-Aid. And that is that human design got channeled by a man actually called Alan Krakow, who goes by the name Ra Uru Hu. That already, ladies and gentlemen, me would be like, that's a turn off. Like, what? Why is he naming himself something else? Already, red flag. Next. This is a man who in 1987 was living in Ibiza. Of all the islands that there is in the world, Ibiza is like the party, rave, highly psychedelic reference of the 60s and 70s and all of the years, honestly. Like, people in Ibiza have a name, and I don't want to generalize, but there's a generalization for a reason. So this man, 1987, is living in Ibiza, has been kind of like living on the outskirts because people are not getting along with him, and it's just him, the solitary man, and his dog. And then one night after a walk, he comes back to his little, like, broken down little house, cottage, room, really, ruin of a room made out of stones. And he sees the light on inside of his room, and he's like, that's weird. I would never leave the light on. And he opens the door, he walks through the door, and him and his dog get paralyzed for 7 or 8 days. And through these 7 or 8 days of paralyzation, there is this channeling of the voice, and the voice gives them all of the human design information. So, have I lost you yet? Because those, like, are a couple of red flags. I want my editing team to be like, red flag, red flag, red flag. So here's the thing. We have to think about the reason this information came to us through an old white man, right? Our consciousness now might judge whatever was working back then. I think there's a reason for it to be channeled by the person who got that information and channeled. Do you believe in channeling? Do you don't believe in channeling? Listen, right now the internet is telling me that the aliens are coming from down up the water, and that water is space. Pluto's in Aquarius, ladies and gentlemen. There's a new reality coming. All bets are off, okay? Let's look at the definition of a cult. I'm gonna take out my phone because I have no idea what the definition of a cult is, and I'm gonna look at what our friend ChatGPT has to say about a cult, and then I'm gonna give you my opinion on what I believe might or might not be the human design cult. It's definitely not. You know what? Full disclosure, I'm reading this and I'm like, you know what? Maybe human design is a cult. I personally don't feel like it's a cult because I hope to have some discretion in the way that I share things. Is astrology a cult then as well? Are doctors a cult? I feel like everything is culty if I look at this description, but let's look at it together. Okay, a cult, this is what ChatGPT is telling me. A cult is a social group defined by specific characteristics that often include intense devotion to leader. I feel like we've moved away from that, mostly because the leader has passed, and I feel like Pop HD gets like a bad reputation, popular human design. I freaking love it because that's exactly what I am and who I like aim to be. Icon status of human design pop pop human design. But I have no kind of devotion to Ra at all. Like, I feel like he was the person who channeled it. And I think he's fun and funny to learn from and like listen to. But I definitely see him as a whole flawed human being, as we are all, me included. So, ideology or cause. While the term can have neutral or positive connotations in some text, cult following for a movie, it is often associated with groups that exhibit problematic or harmful behaviors. So these are the things. I do not believe that human design has any kind of like harmful behaviors. I think that there's humans that are unstable, that feel drawn to the spiritual world and use these tools to try to inflict or project their trauma onto other people. So I remember vividly this beautiful woman coming to me as a client, and she's like, oh, I had this human design reading with this man who told me he would never date a woman like me. And literally my jaw dropped. I'm like, what an unprofessional person to say this kind of stuff to you. So we have to be very selective around the people that we trust. We have to be very selective around the people that we resonate with. Too much information can be confusing. I always recommend get a couple of sources, mainly your girl here. But, you know, take whatever sources you feel comfortable with and stick to that and honor that. I mean, not stick to that. If you don't feel it resonates any longer, you can move on, obviously. Like, you'll grow, that person grows, maybe you grow together, maybe you grow separately. Like, you know, we don't have to hold all the human design teachers, influencers out there accountable for like what we expect from them. Like, everybody has their own evolution and like process. So I'm just saying, find a couple of resources you trust. Find resources that are not dogmatic. Find people that don't make you feel bad, where there's no fear, where there's no dogma, where there's no doomsday. That is an energy that is negative. That is an energy that is not empowering. That is an energy you do not need in your life. Life is hard enough, okay? I want human design to be something fun for you. I want human design to be something that you can experiment with. It's called the human design experiment for a reason, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just telling you information that you can utilize and test out. You go ahead and make your own conclusions around energetic authenticity. I know it has helped me and it has changed my life incredibly, and I've supported thousands of people who can attest the same. But you do you. So, is human design a cult? I'm gonna go with no, because I feel like a cult is Charlie Manson or whatever. I don't even know then. Like, these kind of like horror things, I'm not a horror girly at all. Like, don't like true crime. Don't listen to murder podcasts. That is not my stuff. Like, I could not sleep. So for me, a cult is somebody who harms the people that are in it. And I've only seen incredible positive results for myself and my clients through human design. But you're welcome to make up your own mind. So do that. And here's what I believe to be true, okay? I don't care if human design is fake or human design is real. The way and the state the world works, we want to believe science is real, but then we find out crazy shit where everything we thought was real suddenly is backed by different scientists, that it's not at all like that, it's actually completely different. So science is something we can rely on for a specific amount of time. And sometimes new scientific proof just like counteracts completely. I think there's no real certainty about anything in life. We never know. There might be information that we're missing around things that we believe are super solid. Suddenly, rug gets pulled out from under our feet and we're like, what, excuse me? Never in a million years thought this could happen. But what I do believe in is that I choose what I believe in. My reality is composed of my beliefs. The only thing that matters to me is if what I believe serves me personally in a positive way. So I don't care if human design is fake or is not fake or it's real or this Ra-Uruhu Alan Krakow person's channel. I don't care. What I care is that human design has brought the most effective, immense miracle healing into my life like I've never experienced before. And I've seen this help and support literally thousands of people. And so your comments, your DMs, the conversations I have in my sessions, the people that are in my training, like there is such a vast transformation when we just allow ourselves to be, when we have acceptance for who we are and we stop blaming ourselves and really have this very deep compassion for who we've come to be, that changes the game. So I'm not concerned around how the human design information was channeled. If that channeling is like right or not right, like, I don't know, we can question everything, mediumship, astrology, we can question everything right now. But bottom line is this belief serving you? Because if it's not serving you and you're putting it into practice and it's not working out for you, then just do not subscribe to human design. You are allowed to discard the things that don't work for you. I am here sharing what has worked for me, what has worked for my clients, the human design information, and I'm deeply passionate about what I do because I feel like it literally saved me from myself. And it brought so much light and abundance and healing and joy and pleasure into my life. Like I tried so many things in my rock bottom. I was doing so poorly and I didn't know how to get out of that. And the moment that I realized that I was a projector in my human design, my life literally changed from one moment to the other. And it took a while for it to like manifest and create something tangible out of it, right? But I really feel like that moment was like the biggest epiphany that I've ever had, and things shifted immensely since then. So it's up to you. Do you think human design is real or fake? Or are you like me and you don't really care? Let me know in the comments.